Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in this video, we're gonna kick off the Christmas 2022 season. Yay! I could not be more excited for you all to be here because in this video, I'm gonna share with you our first Christmas tree step by step. This is a gorgeous Christmas tree done in red and gold, and I'm gonna let you know how I decorate a Christmas tree in 3 easy steps. It's going to be so much fun. Before we do that, I wanna give a shout out to this week's new members, and they are Nancy Montanez, Delilah Chaparro, Shirley Harrison, and Janice D. Wilson. Yay! Thank you, ladies, so much for your contribution. Really helps me create better content for everybody to watch. And you can claim your badge now and also start enjoying the perks for members only. And if you want to become a member just like they did, all you have to do is click the join button under this video. There's also going to be a link in the description box below so you can claim your badge and you can start enjoying the perks for members only. All right, with all of that said, you guys, we're gonna share 3 easy, simple steps to decorate a Christmas tree like a designer, starting with step number 1, the ribbon. Let's watch. So I want to start by showing you the ribbons that we selected, and I love this glitter gold ribbon, and we chose this accent stripe ribbon, which is going to go with the rest of the stems, flowers, and ornaments that we picked for this Christmas tree. And as you guys can see, this Christmas tree looks really sad. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fluff it out, and that's step number 1 when you're decorating your Christmas tree. It doesn't matter where you purchase your Christmas tree, or if you had it for a few years and you stored it, most likely it's going to look like this. It's going to be flat. So it really does pay off to take a few minutes, fluff your tree, because it's gonna have a better coverage. As you can see right here, there's a whole bunch of holes that need to be fluffed out so this tree looks healthier and fuller. So give me a minute while I'll do that, and I'll be right back to show you how to add the ribbon to your Christmas tree. Keep watching. Okay, so now that our tree's been fluffed, and don't you guys think it looks way better? Fluffing really does add a lot of girth to your tree. The very first step we're going to do is we're gonna add our ribbon, and for that I have selected this beautiful gold ribbon. And what I'm going to do is just drop it on the floor. And we usually do a dovetail, but this time I'm going to do an angle. So we're gonna cut it at an angle. And I have over here all of my tools, which is going to be my scissors, all of the ribbons that I'm gonna be using, and then also a mason jar with the wires. You guys know I like to wire my ribbon. And my scissors always usually go in my pocket. All right, let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're gonna grab our ribbon, we're gonna give it a little tail. You're gonna go down, and you're gonna switch or spin that. You want to make sure that all of your beautiful glitter or pattern on your ribbon it's showing. If you were not to give that twist, it's going to be like this, but by giving it that twist, you're going to have your beautiful side showing. And then what you want to do is you want to grab a wire, and these are, I think, 22 gauge. I'm going to verify that, but you can find this anywhere where supplies for florists or for craft are sold. You spin it right here, so you're gonna have this loop, and you're gonna start right here on the top. And with the wire, you wanna make sure that you spin that into the greenery of the tree. Then what we're going to do is we're gonna grab our ribbon and we're gonna give it a loop. I wanna say probably about 12 inches. And with one of the PVC branches of the tree, you just wanna make sure you twist it right here. You're gonna have this loop, and then we're gonna repeat right here. Another 12 inches, and then we're gonna find another one of those PVC. And what I do want to tell you is that you have to make sure that you go all the way to the heart of the tree to create these loops right here. I'm gonna do one more, and then we're gonna cut and we're gonna switch sides. For this particular tree, I have selected 2 ribbons. I've chosen this really beautiful gold glitter, and then I have an accent red with a stripe that is really pretty that I will be showing you very soon. With my scissors, I'm gonna cut on an angle. Remember, this time we're not doing dovetails, we're doing angles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start over one more time, go down, under, pinch, and twist. If you learn this step, you'll have a gorgeous Christmas tree, I promise. Pinch and twist. And I'm sorry to cross you, but I'm gonna come over to this side. And now I'm gonna go one step down, and I'm gonna start right here. And remember to go all the way in, right here. And you want to make sure that all of these tails show. And because we went that way, remember what happens on the left happens on the right. So we're going to repeat all of these, making sure that you fluff your ribbon. We're going to repeat over on this side. And once again, about 18 or 16 inches, and you're going to grab one of the be PCP or PCB. I'll also look that up. And we're gonna do it one more time, twice. And remember to go all the way to the heart of the tree. You wanna fluff as you go. We did 3 loops on that side, so I'm only going to do 2 on this side because remember we went down 1 step, but we wanna end probably about the same height. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start over one more time, but now I'm gonna do it in the middle. And because I'm doing it in the middle, what I'm going to do is instead of doing 1 single bow, I'm gonna do a 2 loop bow so it shows better. And always remember to fluff that ribbon because it's what's gonna make your ribbon look really beautiful. Finish with an angle cut. And let me see how much ribbon. I still have enough ribbon to do 1 more, so I'm gonna do it on this side and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. So as you guys can see, we went ahead and finished our gold ribbon and it looks really pretty. I wish the camera could really pick up all of the glitter on this ribbon right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce our accent ribbon, and for that we selected this beautiful red with a gold stripe in it. I love this ribbon because it represents of Christmas. When I think of Christmas, I think of red and green. And so this one's going to do just that. So what we're going to do is you want to do the same thing that you did with your other ribbon, your thicker ribbon. Now let me tell you something about ribbon. When you're adding ribbon to a Christmas tree, you want to make sure you have a variation of widths. And for example, this is a 4-inch width and this is a 2-inch. Because you want to make sure that not all the ribbons the same width, because if you have all, it's happened to me, trust me, where I did all of the same width and it just looked like plump, like there was no texture when it came down to the ribbon. So you want to make sure that you have some texture by adding a 4-inch or 3.5-inch and a 2-inch or a 1.5-inch, so that way you have some texture. All right, so I went ahead and did a 2-loop bow, and I'm gonna start right here on the top, right where we started with the other one. I'm going to add this right here. Make sure you fluff this ribbon, pull that tail up, and we're going to go the same direction that we went with the other one. So we're gonna do about the same loop, and we're going to stick our branch like this, and we're going to continue to go down. So you basically want to follow the same pattern that you have right here with your second ribbon. Just grabbing one of those bristles, you're gonna do another loop, and then you're gonna do a third one. And remember to go all the way into the heart of the tree. And now you have these 3 loops. And what we're going to do is we're gonna grab our scissors. You know what, I need a little tool belt or like a tool bag or something, and cut it at an angle right here. So that's gonna be our second one. And now I'm gonna grab another wire and I'm gonna start doing the same thing over on this side. So do 2 loops, and these loops are probably about 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches, but you can make them as big as you want. If you make them bigger, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like a floppier bow, and also you're gonna need more ribbon, because the floppier the bow, the more it's going to droop, the more you're gonna need for it to get some girth into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here, and I'm going to connect this right here to the heart of the first bow, so it looks like this is a 3-loop bow instead of just a 1. And let me wire this real quick. And when you fluff it, you make sure that it looks like 3 bows and a tail right here. And then you start doing your loops down. We're gonna wire right here with a bristle, and then we're going to continue to go down the way that we followed this right here. We're gonna go all the way into the branch of to the heart of the branch, and then grab a bristle and attach. And look at that, how beautiful is that? For this one, I stopped at 2 right here, but I think I wanna do a third one. And you know, there is no rules for this, so you can really do as your heart's content. And my heart is telling me right now that I need another one, so I'm gonna add another one, and I'm gonna cut right here. So now you have all these beautiful loops of red ribbon, and look how beautiful this red, gold, and the greenery of the tree. It just adds so much. All right, so now I'm going to go right here in the middle, I'm gonna do a 2-loop bow, and we're going to attach, let me see, where do I want to attach this one? Also, I wanna show you real quick. So basically, I don't know if I've shown you this before. You want to gather right here. And what I like to do is I go down and fold up, and then I gather again. Then you twist, you go up now, and then you gather again. And then you grab your little wire, and you go all the way around. You pull really tight, and you twist. And so now we have the 2 loops that we need. And I want to go ahead and put it right here with this, and make sure that it goes all the way in, so it looks like one continuous bow versus having many separate ones. You fluff those. And remember, we always like to go back at the end and fluff our ribbons, because it is easier that way than if you take your time to add and then fluff, add and then fluff, because there's going to be so many more elements that there's no way to keep that fluffed all the time until you're basically done. All right, so now I'm gonna grab a branch and go up and around, and now I'm gonna continue to go down with this guy right here, doing the same thing that we've done, just grabbing a branch. It's very repetitive, so I'm gonna continue doing this, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so this is what the ribbon all laid on the tree looks like. As you guys can see, it goes all the way down to the floor, but what I really want to point out right here is the bows where they connect. So the gold ribbon right here, it's the thicker wire one, and then you have the 2.5-inch one, and you guys can see they are connected at the same spot, and that's what creates that loop into the Christmas tree. Now, wasn't that fun and super simple? Putting the Christmas ribbon on your Christmas tree can make and break your Christmas tree. If you want to learn more ways of how to put the ribbon on your Christmas tree, I'm going to link some Christmas videos, Christmas tree videos in the description box below for you to see different styles on how to lay the ribbon. And then also right now, I want to take a second to invite you to come and join me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all the things you don't want to miss that is going to be in the description box below. All right, you guys, let's move on to step number 2 out of 3, how to put the ornaments on your beautiful Christmas tree. So now that our Christmas tree is all full with the ribbons, what we're going to do is we're going to add our ornaments. And I want to point out that it really is convenient if you keep all of your ornaments in a box or somewhere where they're just gathered together, so you don't have to be picking from different places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wire, the same wire that I was using to use my ribbons. Now, excuse that the tags are here, but we are a Shinoda and they have to sell this product, so we have to keep the tags. Otherwise, if I see tags in anyone's homes, I'm gonna come myself and I'm gonna take it out for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here. You wanna wire your ornament, and you wanna go as far in as you can into the tree and just swirl that wire into one of the branches, and your ornament's going to stay there. This is the best technique you can do, because it doesn't matter if your kitties or your doggies were to, like, well, how do you say it, to put your tree on the floor. Well, you don't have to worry about it because they're wired together. So just wire that into the tree, and we're going to go down. Now remember that the bigger the ornament, the further down into the tree it has to go. If we were to add this to the very top, it would just look out of whack. So we want to make sure that we add the larger ones into the tree, going down. I want to say from half of the tree down. That's where you want most of your larger ornaments to go. You want these larger ones to just basically peekaboo, and the way we're going to do that is going to be with the stems. If you've been watching the channel for a few years now, if you've seen some of the Christmas videos, you guys know that I've always tell you about that you can put all the beautiful ribbons on your tree, all the beautiful ornaments, but if you don't have the right stems to make it dense and to make that depth into the tree, it's just not going to look right, at least not for me. So one thing that I always tell you to invest on is your ribbon. You want to have a wider or width ribbon, and then also a beautiful stem that is going to create that depth into your tree. All right, so let me see. I want to add one over to this side. You also remember the rules that what happens on the left happens on the right, and what goes up must come down, and that also is for your ornaments because you want to create balance. That is like the rule that I came up with to balance whether it's an arrangement, a wreath, a Christmas tree. And you also have to step back from it over here to see where is it that you need your ornament placed. And I feel like we need one up here. So I'm gonna stick my hand. See, remember I told you that no, don't worry about the ribbons until the end, because all of these ornament placement really is getting your ribbons all squished, but at the end we're gonna go in there and fluff one more time. Now here's the other tip I wanna give you is you always add the type of ornament at the same time. So I have 2 different colors and 3 different textures, but you want to make sure that you use one ornament at a time till you run out of it, because that also is going to give you more balance. If you step back and look at your tree, you can see where you need some of these ornaments placed. If you were to add in one of this and one of that, you're gonna lose the balance of your tree. So make sure that you do that. So this one needs to go in the bottom. I'm gonna attach it right here by circling my wire into one of the branches, and it just literally sits on the branch. Okay, so now I'm gonna move into the gold one. That's gonna be our second one, and I have 2, 3, I have 5 of them. So I have to distribute 5 of these gold ornaments into the tree, and I'm gonna start right here on the top, and I'm gonna work my way down. So basically what you wanna do is you wanna do this, one here, one here, one here, one here. So because this one's right here, I have to add one over on this side. What happens on the left happens on the right. So many of you guys have told me that that has helped you, especially with your arrangements. And let me tell you, it does help me create some balance into my Christmas trees and all the things that I make. All right, so I have one here. Now I have to move over to this side to continue that pattern. So I'm gonna go over here. And the wider the ornament, you know, that is another thing that if I could just tell everybody, those smaller ornaments, don't buy them. They don't show on your Christmas tree. Unless you have a small Christmas tree, then sure, you know, they're going to show. But if you're gonna have a small ornament, you know, those little ones that are like 4 inches or 2 inches, you need to cluster them together. And I'll show you in some other video. Actually, I have a whole video on how to create beautiful clusters of ornaments. If you have not seen that video, I'm gonna link it down below. And you know what, actually, let me show you real quick. All right, everyone, to create these fabulous ornament clusters, what you're going to need is a variety of sizes of ornaments. I've chosen some glitter ones, some shiny ones, and some matte ones. And then also I've chosen different sizes on ornaments. As you guys can see, I have 4 different sizes. And then what you're going to need is wire cutters to cut your wire. Already, like I told you before, I have my wires pre-cut. So I want to go ahead and get one. This is probably about 7 inches. Then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put your first ornament through. Then you're going to bend it right here, and you might want to twist it. Because what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we put all of our ornaments in varying sizes. You don't want all of the sizes at the same time, because then it will not look like a cluster. Think of it when grapes grow in a vineyard. Not all of the grapes are the same size, and that's what makes them look really, really unique. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the last one right here, and I'm going to add this tiny little one at the end. All right, so I have this cluster, kind of looks like a grape. Now here's what you want: a longer wire, because what you want to do is you want to pre-make other ones, and to make it longer, what you need to do is just twist this wire together like this, and then you grab another one, and you continue to go up like this, and you just grab another one, and you continue to go up like this. And we're gonna grab the last one, and I'm gonna put it right here. And I would use this wire right here to attach to my tree. As you guys can see, I left enough wire, and you have this massive cluster of ornaments that you can use as an ornament in your Christmas tree, and it's going to add so much character. So now that you guys have seen what I'm talking about, that's what I mean if you're going to use smaller ornaments. Just go ahead and cluster them together. That way you're gonna, they're gonna show on your Christmas tree. All right, so far so good. So now I have another gold ornament. This is a smaller one, and this is not the smallest ones like the ones I just showed you guys, but this is the smallest one I like to use on a larger Christmas tree, because this still can show, but anything smaller than this, it will not. Now, the other thing I want to show you is you want to group them together like this. If you continue to polka dot them, they look polka dot. But if you cluster them together, like I'm going to make sure that I add one right here. And every place that I added a red one, I'm going to add a gold one. And every place that I add a gold one, I'm going to cluster a red one. So for example, I put one right here. So now I'm going to find a place to add this one right here. So they are clustered together. And see here, I created a trio, but this one goes with this one. Okay, so now that I'm done with the gold smaller one, I'm gonna repeat myself with the red smaller one. And remember, I'm gonna add this one. Every time that I added a gold, I'm gonna repeat with a smaller red to create more texture, and then also to create those clusters that I was telling you about, which is what's going to make your tree show. If you really think about this, if you cluster your ornaments like this, you don't even really have to have that many ornaments. Well, who am I kidding? The more the merrier. I used to know this very wise man who once taught me that go bold or don't bother. And I really do think that that's true. Don't bother if it's not going to be gorgeous, because Christmas only happens once a year. So might as well just go bold. Okay, so I went ahead and added all of the smaller red ornaments along with the gold ones, and now I'm adding some of these finials. Now for this particular shape, because it is long, it's meant to dance on your branch. So I've already added some to the tree, but I want to show you, you want to look for a place like this branch right here that is all the way out, and that's where you want to wire your ornament to let it hang and do its thing how it's supposed to. If you put it, I'll show you in a second. If you were to put this ornament right here, it's just going to sit on top of all of that. Like, if see how it sticks out, you don't want that. You want to make sure that these finials are dancing on the branch. So I'm going to add one down here on the bottom and wire it to your branch and just let it hang and let it dance. So I'm going to add the last few ones, and I'll be right back to show you our last step, which is going to be the stems. Keep watching. Okay, step number 1, fluff your tree and then also lay your ribbon. Step number 2, put your ornaments in your Christmas tree. Now keep in mind, you want to fluff your ribbons at the end, because while you put the ornaments on the Christmas tree, you can really mess up those ribbons, but no problem. You can always go back and fluff them, so that way you can work faster. Now I'm going to give you step number 3 into how to decorate a beautiful Christmas tree step by step with this gold and red theme. And also be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know if you are as excited as I am for a brand new Christmas season 2022 here at Ramon at Home. Let's watch step number 3, which is going to be stems and pegs. Let's watch. Okay, so we are at the last step of decorating our beautiful Christmas tree, and as I mentioned to you before, it's all about the stems. You guys, I am not joking when I say please invest in good quality stems, because they will make your tree dance and look like a designer came to your home and did it. So I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna start first with these gold stems, and I'm gonna make sure that I fluff them a little bit, and then also give them a little bit of a curvature like this, because once you do that, they start to really sing up, like you can see with this. And you want to start right here in the middle. I don't know why, but I just like to start here right about the middle, and make sure, you know, I'll show you a trick my boss used to show me, but if you bend this half like this, it creates a hook. So once you put your stem in all the way like this, and then you pull back up a little bit, it'll snag into something and it's not going anywhere. Tip for you from my ex-boss. I wonder if he's watching. If you're watching, hi, you know who you are. All right, so I'm gonna do another one. Remember, what happens to the left happens to the right, so immediately we're going to go to the other side, and we're gonna stick right here. And we have a really good selection of stems, so you wanna make sure that you add just enough of each to create enough texture in your tree. Once you get to the top, I want to also show you a trick. You want to give your stem a curvature, but with these ones you want to go up like this, because that will create sort of a topper without having a topper on it. Like you can see, it just gives a little bit more extra length to your tree. Okay, so I have one going that way, one this way, one that way. So now I need to add one going this way, like this. I have a few more. This is perhaps the fastest step of decorating your Christmas tree. I'm gonna go all the way to the other side to make sure that there's plenty all the way around your tree. You want it to look very balanced. Right, so now I'm gonna do one right here in the middle. And the last few that I have, I wanna go and put all the way on the bottom to take it all the way from the top all the way to the bottom. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and now I'm gonna add the red stem. This is a shorter stem, but what I like about this one is because it's already had a poinsettia in it and everything is wire. So you wanna make sure that you touch every single wire and fluff it real quick. So now I'm gonna start from the top. Remember, we have one right here. So I'm gonna add this other one over to the top, facing the poinsettia forward. At this point it's getting tight, so we wanna make sure that we have enough space to attach it. And I have the last stem. You guys are going to gag with it. It's so pretty. I cannot wait to show you it. It's perhaps my favorite stem they carry right now at Shinoda, and I cannot wait to show you. All right, so I'm gonna put one right here where there's a hole. You, at this point with the stems also, you want to make sure that you start covering all of these holes in with the stems. And if you see that it's not going to stay, just grab one of those little branches from the tree and then fold it in to the main branch of the stem, and that way it's not going anywhere. As you guys can see, it really does help to create a lot of texture on this tree. And I'm gonna put one right here actually. Once again, I'm gonna grab one branch, and then I'm going to bend it into the main stem, and that will secure my branch and it's not gonna go anywhere. All right, now we're gonna move over to the other side right here. Thumbs up if you guys are learning something, and I cannot wait to read your comments. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite tree on this particular Christmas tree. If you learned something, I'd like to know what is it that you learned and how it's gonna help you decorate your own Christmas tree this year. You know, reading your comments is probably one of my favorite things to do by putting these videos out, because it really helps me get to know you guys better. It's my favorite. All right, so now I'm gonna go over, let's see. I'm gonna go over to this side on the bottom. I'm gonna finish adding the stems. I'll be right back with the last one, so keep watching. Okay, so we've gotten to the point where we're going to recap. So far, we've added the first ribbon, which is this beautiful gold glitter ribbon. Then we added the striped red ribbon. After that, we went ahead and added the matte red, then the gold on the larger size. Then after that, I added the smaller on the golden red, and I finished the ornaments with the finials. So then after that, I added the stems. I went ahead and added the gold stem, the red stem, and now you guys, I have to show you, this is what I was talking about. This stem is so beautiful, and you have to make sure you take it out of this bag. And look how they come. This is not you want to stick your stems into your Christmas tree, because, well, that's not what we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna, sorry if they're watching at Shinoda, I'm gonna take these tags off. Just because with this particular one, where's my scissors? You really have to make sure that you fluff, and sometimes, well, it gets on the way. So you wanna grab every stem and every wire, and look how gorgeous this little jewel is right here. This is perfect because it has some of the gold, it has some of the ornaments already added to it, and then it has all of these wire jewels. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Now this is what I would call the flyaway. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that whether it's a floral bouquet or a wreath or just a Christmas tree, what I like to do at the end is add what I call the flyaways, and that's something that flies away from your arrangement, from your Christmas tree, or whatever it is that you're doing. So what happens on the left happens on the right, and then also the flyaways are the two things that I like to always teach the people that I am showing how to do something, because if you learn those two, then you'll always have a beautiful arrangement. Look how beautiful this is. So this is going to be our flyaway. This is just the kiss at the end of the meal. And what I'm going to do is find some specific areas, and I'm gonna let this really fly out and really show those jewels. Look how beautiful that is. It just gives it so much more depth, and I have them already fluffed out right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these last few into my Christmas tree. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna move that one a little bit so that I can add this one right here. You might wanna get them a curvature down. I have about 8 of them. And then I'm gonna add one right here to the front. How beautiful is that, you guys? It just adds all this much texture. You want to make sure that you play with all these jewels and face them forward so they really catch the light from the Christmas tree or the light in your home, and it's just going to make your Christmas tree dance. I'm going to add another one over here to the side. And also, once again, you can just wrap one of the stems around and make sure that it's going to be secure into your Christmas tree. All right, let's see. I need another one on this side. What happens on the left happens on the right. Please keep repeating that for balance. I have a few more. Let's see. I am going to add one right here. Remember, the ones from a third of the tree up, they go facing up. So I'm going to add one right here. And when I add this guy, I want to make sure that these jewels really show. So if you take that extra second to fluff your stem, look, it just adds so much more to your Christmas tree. I have two more. I'm going to finish them, and then I'll show you what the whole tree looks like finished. So keep watching. All right, you guys, so I just want to show you real quick what the finished tree looks like with all of the ornaments, with the red and the gold. This is a very traditional look on a green Christmas tree, and I just really do love the way this turned out. I cannot wait to read your comments, so leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think of this theme. I cannot wait to share more, so keep watching. All right, you guys, well, as you can see, step number 1, your ribbon, step number 2, ornament layment, and step number 3, the beautiful stems and pegs. It can really transform your Christmas tree this Christmas season 2022. I really hope that you learned something from this video, and let me tell you, I could not be more excited to share with you brand new ideas every Sunday and every Wednesday throughout the Christmas season to inspire you to create something beautiful in your home this Christmas in 2022. Be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite part of this Christmas tree. And if you want to see more Christmas tree decorating ideas, I'm going to link some in the description box below. There's going to be one right on the screen right now. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss this Christmas season 2022. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. Until next time. Bye.